Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be talking about massive news of Hedera's involvement in CBDC developments around the world and how Hedera could see millions more transactions being authorized on its network in the near future. So before we talk about the main story today, I'd like to show you a clip featuring the co-founder of Hedera, Lehman Baird, going into detail and providing insights as to why Hedera is such an attractive network.
There's huge interest all across the world in industry and individuals who want to lower carbon footprint. So the less electricity you use, the less carbon you are dumping into the atmosphere. And you could say, well, I'll build a solar panel, but then you're using a solar panel for this that you could have used for something else. So honestly, the greenest form of electricity is the electricity you don't use, megawatts. That's the greenest form of electricity. So there's huge interest in using as little as possible, and then there's interest to buying carbon credits to make up for that little bit. So we do that, and we're carbon negative. We actually buy more carbon credits than the electricity. So it's good to do that, and there's a lot of interest in that. But even more importantly is use less in the first place. Everyone is interested in that right now. A number of projects building on Hedera and on other ledgers right now to trade carbon credits, to trade green energy, to trade non-green energy with recording how much you're emitting so that you can track it, to combine non-green energy with the credit to create green energy. All of these things are being done. Things like the Guardian project that was built on Hedera helps companies to track exactly what their emissions are and then buy credits. So this is something that the whole industry is doing right now, and there is enormous interest in this right now.
So as detailed by Baird, Hedera's network is highly attractive, especially in terms of its eco-friendly nature and its high throughput and TPS. So these innate qualities have potentially led to some of the biggest financial bodies in the world earmarking Hedera as a viable option for their very own financial developments, where one institution which has actually earmarked to the potential Hedera's network provides is the Australian Central Bank, where in a paper published by the Australian Central Bank entitled Australian CBDC Pilot for Digital Finance Innovation, the paper went into detail and provided insights into how a CBDC could benefit the wider Australian marketplace and what CBDCs will mean for Australian citizens and businesses native to Australia. So within the article there was a reference to the industry participants that were involved in this CBDC initiative across the wider Australian marketplace, including CBDC developments, where there was a direct reference to Hedera, where Hedera has actually been working in conjunction with the Australian Central Bank in view of designing and implementing a pilot CBDC for the wider Australian marketplace. So if the pilot CBDC is successful and the Australian Central Bank do choose to utilise CBDCs into their economy, this could potentially see the wide-scale rolling out and utility of Hedera's consensus mechanism. So it's probably unlikely that the wider Hedera consensus and tokenization service will be utilized into CBDC frameworks, regardless whether it's in Australia or anywhere else in the world. But a private variant of the network may be incorporated into financial sectors within the likes of Australia. So this could be quite significant, not just for Hedera, but also for the wider Australian economy, where, as mentioned in the initial clip, Hedera's innate qualities makes it highly attractive to power a wider economy, most notably its high TPS and its cost-effective nature, where just looking at the TPS associated with Hedera's throughput is very effective, where it can process in its base level up to 10,000 transactions per second. However, research has been conducted and experimentation has been carried out, where when sharding mechanisms are introduced to Hedera's consensus service, this has led to the network being able to process hundreds of thousands of transactions at a given time. And in theory, sharding can potentially lead to an unlimited amount of transactions being authorized. And these factors are all compounded with the energy efficient nature surrounding Hedera's network. So not only can Hedera process a significant amount of transactions, these actions can be authorized cost effectively, and Hedera is also very eco-friendly, where it produces significantly less pollution, be it carbon emissions, compared to all other DLTs and even legacy systems, including the likes of Visa. So it makes abundant sense as to why Hedera would be ideal in being at the centre of financial developments in view of CBDC infrastructure in the likes of Australia and even other nations who choose to utilise Hedera's consensus service for their very own economies. So very exciting for Hedera, but time will tell in regards to whether this pilot initiative will go live and whether Hedera will be at the center of such protocols. So another link Hedera has with Australia is that it is in an active partnership with EFTPOS, where EFTPOS is a financial payment infrastructure across Australia and is the biggest validator of payments across Australia, where EFTPOS alone processes over 2 billion transactions on an annual basis. So with Hedera's strong affiliation with EFTPOS already, and with EFTPOS being such a key figure within financial execution and frameworks across the wider Australian marketplace, this points to how Hedera could be the go-to option for financial developments across Australia. So very exciting, but again, time will tell in regards to how these developments will proceed. So as well as Hedera's active participation in CBDC developments in Australia, Hedera is also at the centre of a number of other initiatives, most notably carbon management, where Hedera is in a joint collaboration with the carbon offset organisation Timeless, where Timeless is actually set to go live on the Hedera network in the next few days, where this could potentially lead to millions more transactions being authorized on Hedera. So firstly, let's take a deeper look into Timeless. So Timeless is set to announce a Carbon Central carbon management tool organization, which is set to allow for the management of carbon offsetting. This screenshot here from the authorizer of Timeless goes into a bit more depth in regards to the carbon offsetting and the measurement of carbon creation across the wider Australian marketplace in this example. So Hedera have actually created a landing page and have provided further details in regards to their direct partnership and collaboration with Timeless, where again Timeless is a carbon reporting organization and is actively built on Hedera, so it directly utilizes the benefits of Hedera's consensus and tokenization service, where the main ethos surrounding Timeless is to provide decarbonisation across the wider global marketplace. So at the moment, the value of global carbon markets amounts to $851 billion, and the organisation also is involved in ESG compliance, where ESG is becoming increasingly more popularised and becoming more widely incorporated into global economies around the world, where it's almost certain that ESG compliance will become a reality across all nations over the long run. So Timeless has taken the first step to adhere to ESG frameworks, so this could mean that the likes of Timeless and in turn Hedera will be more widely utilised for such initiatives and protocols, especially over the long run, and as the likes of Hedera's network becomes more widely utilised and incorporated into more financial and carbon credit initiatives around the world. So the article provided by Hedera went into a bit more depth about why Timeless chose to build their platform on Hedera. This is mainly due to the high scalability, the security, and the immutable nature surrounding Hedera's consensus and tokenization service, where through the utility of Hedera's tokenization service, for example, this means that the ability to offset carbon assets can be done so more efficiently and effectively and securely, where again Hedera is immutable and the tokenization engine attached to Hedera is very cost effective. So it makes abundant sense as to why the likes of Timeless may choose to harness Hedera's tokenization service for the minting and creation of carbon offsets to represent carbon credits, and whether an organization or an individual is complying with ESG. So the article went into further detail as mentioned. So it also detailed to why DLT is being leveraged in this sense. So again, due to the immutable nature surrounding DLT, including Hedera's network, and also the eco-friendliness and the high TPS and transaction validation capacity Hedera's network provides. So these developments adds to a growing list of use cases surrounding Hedera, and it's very exciting too. So Hedera's network isn't only limited to a few industries now. Hedera's network provides broad-scale utility across the majority of industries in the world nowadays. So it's very exciting for Hedera, and it adds to the ever-growing utility of Hedera's network and will eventually lead to increases in the overall TPS and the amount of transactions validated on Hedera's overarching consensus service, where, as I mentioned a few days ago, Hedera's network is the most widely utilized network, and the network has surpassed over 18 billion transactions since the mainnet went live. So this is a diagrammatic illustration of Hedera reaching over 18 billion transactions at a relatively stable TPS. And this isn't even at Hedera's high throughput rate. So it's very exciting, and it indicates how widely utilized Hedera's network is. And I think I mentioned to this a few days ago, where Hedera's mainnet isn't merely allowing allowing for the verification of transactions through mirror nodes or node-to-node communication. So the majority of these transactions are due to real utility, as stated by Mars Harmon, I think a few videos ago. I'll have to look through my previous videos, and I'll link the video I mentioned to this story in the description below. But it's very exciting, and it indicates how wide-scale Hedera's network is in terms of its utility, and how more industries are slowly becoming members and utilizing Hedera's network. So finally, I'd like to talk about another graphic detailing to the benefits Hedera's network provides. So I think the majority of us know that Hedera is working in conjunction with stablecoin initiatives around the world, including with the likes of its governing council member Shinhan Bank and financial bodies in Thailand and Taiwan. So when Hedera's network was utilized in the stablecoin initiative, a number of findings were found where, through the utility of Hedera's network, especially its tokenization service for stablecoin issuance and utility, it was found that the operating time through the utility of Hedera's network greatly reduced. So this means that banks and other financial institutions can leverage and harness Hedera's network at any point during the week, and this is in stark contrast to traditional banking services, where operating hours surrounding the usage of banking services are limited, and this is accompanied with the finality rates attached to the usage of Hedera's network, where it only takes 2.5 seconds for a transaction to be authorized on Hedera as compared to 1 to 10 business days. And this is also accompanied with the traceability of transactions, where due to Hedera's DLT nature and it being immutable, transactions authorized on the network can be observed and detected for very seamlessly. So this makes measures surrounding the observation of transactions on a wider banking surface a lot more effective compared to traditional services. And this is accompanied with the charges associated with the Hedera network, where it only costs $0.05 for a transaction to be authorized on Hedera's network, and this is significantly less compared to traditional banking services, where there's multiple fees attached to the usage of banking infrastructure. So with Hedera bringing about a number of ideal situations for banking and financial developments, it makes no surprise as to why Hedera's network was used in the mentioned stablecoin initiative, and may lead to Hedera being more widely utilized for further initiatives for years to come. But time will tell. But it's very exciting that Hedera is at the center of so many financial developments, and you never know, we may ourselves be utilizing Hedera's network for a number of use cases. What are your thoughts on Hedera? Are you bullish on Hedera's association with financial developments around the world? Let us know your views in the comments below.